So, sad news has been quietly touching hearts everywhere, and this time it's coming from someone millions feel they know personally. Ben Shephard, the familiar face who has brought comfort, laughter, and warmth into homes for years, has finally opened up in a way no one expected. What he shared wasn't loud or dramatic. It didn't come with flashing headlines or grand statements. Instead, it arrived softly, honestly, and it left fans completely stunned. For so long, Ben has been the steady presence, the reassuring smile, the calm voice that somehow makes mornings feel lighter and tough days easier to handle. He's known for lifting others up, for keeping things positive, for finding humor even when life feels complicated. That's why this moment felt different. This time, Ben wasn't there to cheer everyone else on. This time, he allowed the curtain to lift just enough for people to see the man behind the screen. When Ben finally spoke, there was a pause, one of those pauses that says more than words ever could. His expression carried a mix of warmth and vulnerability, and in that quiet moment, fans could sense that something deeply personal was being shared. It wasn't about shock value, it was about truth, and that truth landed gently yet powerfully in the hearts of those listening. He talked about how life, even when it looks joyful from the outside, can hold layers that remain unseen. How smiles can coexist with uncertainty, how laughter doesn't always mean everything is perfect, it often means someone is choosing strength. Ben's words weren't heavy, but they were honest, and honesty, especially when it comes from someone so familiar, has a way of shaking people in the best possible way. Fans quickly reacted, not with pity, but with love. Messages poured in from people saying how much Ben has meant to them over the years. Some shared how his presence helped them through their own quiet struggles. Others admitted they never realized how much they needed to hear someone they admire speak so openly. It became clear that this wasn't just Ben opening up, it was a shared moment between him and the people who have supported him for so long. What made this even more touching was the gentle humor Ben sprinkled into his words, a small smile here, a light remark there, as if to say, yes, things can be tough, but we're still allowed to laugh. That balance is so uniquely Ben. He didn't turn the moment into something dark. Instead, he reminded everyone that vulnerability and hope can walk hand in hand. There was something almost romantic about the way he spoke, not in a dramatic sense, but in a deeply human one, the kind of romance that exists in sincerity, in connection, in the simple act of trusting people enough to share a piece of your inner world. It felt like a love letter, not to one person, but to life itself, with all its ups, downs, and unexpected turns. Fans noticed the change immediately. Social media filled with comments about how real he felt, how relatable, how refreshingly honest. Some joked that even when Ben is being serious, he somehow manages to make people smile. Others said they admired him even more now because strength isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's about acknowledging when things aren't. And that's where the magic of this moment truly lies. Ben didn't lose anyone's admiration by opening up. He gained more. Because people don't connect with perfection, they connect with authenticity. They connect with someone who reminds them that it's okay to feel deeply, to reflect, to admit that life isn't always as polished as it looks on screen. There was also a quiet sense of gratitude in his words, gratitude for the journey, for the people around him, and for the audience who has walked beside him over the years. He made it clear that he doesn't take that connection lightly, and fans felt that. They felt seen, appreciated, and included in a moment that could have easily been kept private. What followed was a wave of warmth, supportive messages, encouraging words, even a bit of playful teasing, because that's how fans show love. Some joked that Ben could read a grocery list and still make people emotional. Others said this moment only proved why he's remained so loved for so long. This wasn't a goodbye, it wasn't an ending. It was a pause, a reflective breath, a reminder that behind every familiar face is a real person, living a real life with real feelings. And sometimes sharing that reality is the most powerful thing someone can do. Ben's openness also sparked conversations among fans themselves. People began sharing their own stories, their own moments of uncertainty mixed with humor and hope. In that way, his words became more than just a personal reveal. They became a bridge, connecting people through shared understanding. There's something incredibly exciting about seeing someone evolve in front of your eyes, not by changing who they are, but by revealing more of it. Ben didn't become someone new in this moment, he became more himself, and that's what made it so unforgettable. As the dust settles and the initial shock softens into reflection, one thing is clear: this moment will be remembered not for sadness alone, but for courage, for warmth, for the gentle reminder that even in quieter chapters there is beauty, humor, and connection waiting to be found. Fans didn't walk away feeling heavy, they walked away feeling closer. Closer to Ben, closer to each other, and maybe even closer to themselves. If this moment teaches us anything, it's that honesty has a ripple effect. One person opens up, and suddenly thousands feel a little less alone, a little more understood, a little more hopeful. And Ben Shephard, in his own understated way, has once again done what he's always done best: brought people together. Not through grand gestures, but through sincerity, warmth, and that unmistakable charm that makes even the quietest moments feel special. If this story moved you, made you smile, or gave you something to think about, you're not alone. Share your thoughts, spread the warmth, and keep the conversation going, because moments like these remind us why genuine connection still matters.